That I know that I worked on. That I know that I got there because I grew up in a very fucked up, turmoil-filled life, and I figured out a way to navigate it to become a happy person. It's like one of the only things that I'm proud of.
Yeah, I think that knowing you for as long as I've known you, which is going on 16 years, I think that's a huge. I absolutely see that transformation because you used to be so intense, and you used to look at the world as just full of barbs and thorns, and you were always on the defensive, always ready. Because I remember we'd be hanging out, and somebody'd say something stupid, which you always run into, and you just. It was so hard for you to deal. You just immediately call them out on their ridiculous. Like 2 + 2 is 15, and unicorns live in my backyard. And I'd go, "That's great," and you'd go, "Bullshit! I don't like this person." And I'd be like, what do I do with this uncomfortable confrontation?
You used to hang out with some knuckleheads, though. In all fairness,
I really did.
In all fairness,
you
were hanging out with some crazy people.
True.
And I am not that way with reasonable, rational people. But when I'm there with meth heads, and I know someone's a meth head, and I'm like, something's wrong here.
I smell something.
Stop. This is not normal conversation we're having here. We got an issue. We're not going to deal with how crazy this bitch is.
And I'd be like, I can't see anything.
We would be out with one of Bryan's friends, and it would occur to me like 5 minutes into the conversation, okay, this is like a crazed, fucking half-homeless criminal we're hanging out with. I'm like, okay, we have to deal with this. Nah, everything's good.
Nah, she's cool. She's cool. You know what? She's just a little nervous today. I blame it on that.
Yeah, she gets weird around people. Yeah, you're an intense guy. She gets weird around you. She's
just starstruck. She's starstruck.
You're like,
she's doing meth.
Fucking mind, bro. I'm like, there's a monster disconnect here with this chick.
Meanwhile, I really did find meth in her purse.
Yeah, of course you did.
And meanwhile, she ruined my life.
Yeah, it was a wreck.
Good job,
I tried to
Bryan.
talk him out of it.
Nah.
Do you remember?
When I was younger, I'd be like, oh, that girl comes from a nice family. I'll take the girl with the bat tattooed on her face and the track marks, please.
This is how crazy this girl was. This is how crazy this was. It was Bryan and I met her at a bar, and he told me, I want you to meet this girl I've been seeing. She's really cool. So I go and I meet him at the bar. I talk to her for 3 or 4 seconds. She turns and walks away, and I looked at him, and I go, she's fucking crazy. I go, that girl's crazy. I go, let's get out of here right now. I go, get the fuck out of here. I go, you need to just change your number, shut your fucking phone off. Let's go. Let's get out of here. It's like, nah, she's fine.
She's cool.
Fine.
No, I'm going to stick around.
You know how you have a friend who you love to death, but for some reason, like he doesn't have those John Carpenter glasses from the Thing. He can't fucking see it. Everybody else can see that this bitch is crazy. He could not see it.
Yeah.
He did not
Well,
have
I
the
just
glasses.
chose not to see it.
Well, you didn't just choose not to see it. You would glaze over and become like
a project.
I'm locked into this.
This is a project
I'm working with her. I'm trying to help her.
I want to change her.
And I was like crazy survival boy. I was like, we got to get out of here.
Yeah,
man.
but you were always right. Because I would have saved a lot of effort and time.
You're a healer, Bryan.
I don't have healer instincts. I have run away from monster instincts.
Yeah, but healer instincts are phony too. Because what I was trying to do is I just wanted a project where it was like I was the guy, the savior. It was more very selfish and
No,
arrangement.
don't blame yourself. I mean, you're being critical by saying it was selfish, but it's just a faction of all of these things. All these crazy behaviors are just from our childhood. That's all it is.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's what it is. I mean, you did not like the way you were raised, and you were trying to literally raise a chick. Right. You were trying to literally guide them. I mean, exactly. And fuck them.
Yeah, and fuck them. I mean, that's important. That's part of the guidance.
A huge part.
It's part of the guidance.
It's part of the power.
You have to lie down on your stomach and
it's part of the connection to the universe.
Yeah. And fuck them.
And fuck them. What a crazy fucking.
It occurred to me. Remember when I told you this? It occurred to me that the girls I was dating in L.A. I was like, I looked at like their last 4 relationships, and I was like, wow, all 4 relationships, all of those girls for me, they were all essentially a high-tech pet. They were not people. They were high-tech pets. Dude. I had to feed them. I had to be nice to them and pet them. I had to talk to them like a little cuties, and then I had to fuck them. And who hasn't thrown a wig on the dog? But, the point is...
It's all about hacking them, though.
Oh, my God. That's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true.
It was weird.
Bryan is his current woman aside, she's very nice. And he's had a few in the past that were very nice. It's not all of them. Mm-hmm. Patty Jenkins is one of the coolest humans on the planet.
No doubt.
But Bryan has been the smartest guy that I know that has dated the dumbest chicks. I mean, just straight.
Not just dumb, crazy.
Straight, just
How about
nothing.
how about my girl Diane, this girl who will
Don't
remain,
say any names.
I know my girl Tina, who lived with me, and she thought she didn't know who Freud was. She didn't know who Freud was. She was 30, and then she thought, and this was an actress. She thought that Shakespeare lived in biblical times. I was like, hey, you're already in my house. How do I go through this eviction? It took a year.
Oh my God.
See if I can procrastinate the ending of this relationship for the next 2 years.
Wow. Well, you know what? There's nothing wrong with not knowing something.
Well, yeah. You
I
just
guess.
get older, though, and you
It
start
seems like you
learning.
should know that.
The
but
main thing is to get older and learn.
Yeah.
Learn from your
It's-
mistakes and not make the same ones.
But the problem is a lot of people get programmed a certain way as they're growing up, and it's very hard to shake off that programming. Sometimes
Very
it's
hard.
better to have no programming, as I think you did and I did,
Mm-hmm.
where you just kind of were left alone to figure out life by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think that's better than having shitty programming, because if a girl grows up with shitty programming where there's a lot of dumb people around her all the time offering their dumb thoughts, and she's with dumb people all day instead of being left alone.
Yeah, I think the reason that I didn't grow up that way necessarily is I lived in so many different countries. I was always literally moved. I thought about it. By the time this is truth. I didn't live anywhere for the first 30 years of my life. Actually, 33 years of my life. I didn't live in one place for more than a year and a half. I literally had
incredible.
moved every year to year and a half, and a lot of times it was a totally different culture, continent. But I think that didn't allow me to get pigeonholed I was exposed to so many different cultures and ideas that you have to kind of keep reshifting and adjusting your paradigm. Because what you think is a preconceived notion, for example, you get this idea of what a lot of people say. Well, that's my idea of what an Arab is. That's my idea of what a Jew is. That's my idea of whatever it is. When you're exposed constantly to different people in totally different settings, what you really actually learn to do as a child is empathize with those people. Because you start to realize, yeah, they're different, but they're exactly the same.
Did you find yourself being a chameleon and blending into the new environment?
My dad
very
used to
quickly?
say, my father said to me when I was 15, he said, I've never seen anyone ever be a bigger chameleon. He said, your ability to ingratiate yourself and find your way into any